Hello and welcome to another art house movie review. This time I'm reviewing Killing of a Chinese Bookie, directed by Cassavetes. So this film was the daily movie suggestion in the UK a few days ago. And I realised that I'd never seen a Cassavetes film. So I decided to put that right, and Googling I've found that the most loved film of Cassavetes is Woman Under the Influence, so I watched that first. So when I came to watch Killing of a Chinese Bookie, I was really tuned in to the Cassavetes style, and I instantly engaged with the film. I love Cassavetes. I can't believe I've somehow missed out on seeing his work. I really felt you could see the influence of Killing of a Chinese Bookie on films like Uncut Gems and Reservoir Dogs, both of which I highly admire. The conversation at the table between Cosmo, the guy that owes the money to the gangsters, and all the gangsters at the table, really reminds me of the opening scene of Reservoir Dogs when you've got the guys sitting around talking. This is really 1970s classic Hollywood cinema. They just don't make films like this anymore, and I absolutely loved it. I love the close camera work, the kind of edginess created by this, and it's almost at times like a documentary. Cassavetes' work seems to be both naturalistic and exaggerated, melodramatic, theatrical, stylized, all at the same time. I don't quite know how it works, but it really does. The main character, Cosmo, is played by Ben Gazzara, and he is just excellent. As I say, I think Cassavetes really stylizes and heavily designs his films in the writing, but he also leaves space for improvisation and for the actors to really inhabit the characters, and I think it just works so well. Cosmo owns a club where there's these shows, and the shows are really terrible. I wasn't sure of the reason why the shows are so bad, or whether in the 70s, that's how bad shows were in LA. Perhaps it's a metaphor for life more generally, in the sense that Cosmo thought that he owned something better than a strip club. He kind of had a rule of no stripping as such. They weren't strippers, the girls working there, and the people working there did see themselves as artistes. But it was very seedy, and it was like a mild version of a strip club. There was some nudity and some objectification of women. And I think that this represents like people deluding themselves that they're living respectable lives, but the truth is their lives are kind of grubby and messy. There's an inevitability to the falling apart of Cosmo's world, very like Uncut Gems, and Cosmo thinks he's doing really well when he's actually on the verge of his whole life melting down. I think there perhaps are some gender issues in this film, that the women don't really have agency at all. They're a group of women that show us their bodies sometimes and that follow Cosmo around, and it definitely adds to the seediness of the film, but it probably is problematic in terms of women not having anything other than an objectified role in the film. The version of this film I saw on Mubi was the director's recut, which apparently was Cassavetes' preferred version of it, and it was only 109 minutes. I noticed that the original version, looking on IMDb, was 2 hours 15 minutes, 135 minutes. And I saw a comment that actually the recut is quite a different film. So I would be quite interested to watch the longer version, because I really liked this short version. But on the other hand, this film felt so good, I think to make it any longer, it's hard to see how it could improve it. In conclusion, I love this film. It's a Hollywood epic, it's a great Cassavetes film, it's entertaining and it's great filmmaking. Well worth watching. They don't make films like this anymore. Thanks for watching. See you next time.